What's the strangest thing you learned about an ex after you broke up? 2 years after Blake and I split, my friend Zara sent me a screenshot that made my coffee go cold. It was a Facebook post from his mother. So proud of my son for completing his 3rd year of veterinary school. Can't wait to see Dr. Blake in action. I stared at the screen, completely confused. When we dated for 18 months, Blake worked construction. He complained constantly about his aching back, his 5 a.m. shifts, how he'd never amount to anything more than manual labor. I'd encouraged him to consider going back to school, but he always said college was for people with money and family connections, not guys like him who barely graduated high school. There's absolutely no way, I texted Zara back, but she'd already done the detective work. Screenshots of his Instagram showed him in blue scrubs, gently holding a golden retriever puppy with the kind of confidence I'd never seen in him. Another showed him at what looked like a graduation ceremony, grinning beside classmates in caps and gowns. The caption read, "Finally made it to vet school after years of dreaming. Sometimes dreams really do come true." There were dozens more photos spanning months. Blake at study sessions, Blake volunteering at animal shelters, Blake looking completely at home in a world he'd convinced me he could never enter. The timeline made no sense. We'd broken up specifically because he refused to plan for any kind of future. Every single conversation about goals or ambitions ended with him completely shutting down, claiming I was pressuring him too much. When I gently suggested community college courses, he'd actually rolled his eyes. "You sound exactly like my nagging ex," he'd said during our final fight, always pushing for improvement and change. I'd naturally assumed I was the first girlfriend to encourage his education. Curiosity eventually got the better of me. I created a fake Instagram account and spent hours scrolling through 2 years of his posts. What I discovered made my hands literally shake. Photos of veterinary textbooks dated 6 months before we even met, carefully highlighted and annotated in his handwriting. Study group sessions during exact times he'd claimed he was working construction overtime. I recognized the coffee shop where he'd told me he was grabbing lunch between shifts. Screenshots of acceptance letters to 3 different veterinary programs, all time-stamped while we were actively together, celebrating with friends I'd never met. Then I found the real bombshell, a reflective post from exactly our anniversary last year. 1 year since my ex helped me realize I was finally ready for vet school. Sometimes people come into your life specifically to show you what you're truly capable of achieving. Grateful for that push, even though the relationship didn't work out. He'd been systematically lying about absolutely everything, not just to me, but apparently about me too. The construction job was merely part-time to help pay for program applications. His resistance to higher education was pure performance, carefully designed to make me feel like the demanding, unreasonable girlfriend. He deliberately used our entire relationship as secret motivation, while simultaneously making me believe I was somehow holding him back from success. I sat alone in my apartment at 2 a.m., staring at pictures of the impressive life he'd built on the foundation of our breakup. He looked genuinely happy, accomplished, confident, like someone who'd never spent months convincing a devoted girlfriend that he was too fundamentally broken for dreams, too damaged by life to ever amount to anything meaningful. The man in these photos was a stranger. Or maybe he was who Blake really was when he wasn't performing helplessness for my benefit. My phone suddenly buzzed. A text from Zara. "Want me to keep digging deeper?" I immediately deleted the fake account instead. Sometimes the strangest truths are more twisted than any lie we could imagine.